As technological advancement is in full swing and making the shift towards digitization, IT technology developers are making efforts to develop software to ease the work which is being done manually currently. Now, in this regard, one such technological advancement is intelligent automation, a unification of artificial intelligence and automation. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Analytics Insight podcast, where we talk about the ever evolving technology space. And I'm your host, Priya Dayalani. Now, intelligent automation is a well tested and newly proving coping mechanism when a business experience faces a fall down. It reduces the cost while enhancing efficiency, and therefore, organizations are leveraging the power of intelligent automation to cater to the evolving needs of customers. Now, the freshly evolved business operating models allow them to predict the future accurately, and it ultimately is becoming a leader in their domain. So today we are going to talk more about intelligent automation, and we have Sameet Gupte, founder and CEO at EvoluteIQ, to talk how this intelligent automation impact businesses and what new trends we can expect around this space. Hi Sameet, how are you doing?
Hi, Priya. Thank you for having me. Looking forward to a fantastic conversation.
Likewise, it's a pleasure to have you with us on a podcast. So let's start, by telling our listeners what exactly is Evolute IQ, what exactly the organization caters to, what is its specialization, and anything that you can tell us about it.
Sure. So, Priya, Evolute IQ is a end-to-end automation platform. What I mean by that is, we look at all the organizations in the world, right? And essentially, every organization is either building something or servicing or doing something, creating something and selling it to their customers. And to do these things, they effectively are doing certain set of things within an organization, which we call process. And the more an organization is efficient with these processes, the more they focus on the quality of these processes, they are able to create a better product faster. They're able to cater to their customer needs, and they're able to deliver this to their customers at an efficient price. So we started Evolute IQ with the thesis that every organization is made up of such finite processes, and to improve these processes, make them more efficient, make them more faster, make them more affordable, and create a situation where the organization can build products or create services that they can offer at a better commercial value to their end customer. A technology is used to automate these processes, right? And that's essentially what Evolute IQ does. So Evolute IQ brings together different aspects that are needed to automate a process within an organization end to end. And so to do that, we leverage different modules within the Evolute IQ platform, which includes, the data, which includes the event flow, which includes robotic process automation, which includes event flow, which also includes artificial intelligence and machine learning. So that's sort of the core of it. And the entire fabric of Evolute IQ is Gen AI based, something that we have been working on with OpenAI since 2020. And that's sort of what we have built out in Evolute IQ. It's a low code, no code platform. And very simply put, it takes all of these processes and allows people to automate them.
Great. Thank you for letting us know about Evolute IQ. And yes, we all have probably heard about automation, and intelligent automation is probably the next frontier that we are looking forward to in terms of automation. And of course, we will know and discuss about Evolute IQ more in detail as to what different aspects it brings into the picture when we're talking about business world. But if coming to you, I think you have a robust background in the global business development space, and you have garnered extensive experience in fostering business growth. So, can you also tell us about your journey till date? What exactly is your role towards your organization and your contribution towards the company?
So, Evolute IQ is like a life's work for us, right? We've been thinking about Evolute IQ as a concept since 2004. And where we said, hey, why does it have to be so complicated to automate a process? Why do you need 5, 6, 10 different technologies, spend a lot of money to do it? And so we started thinking about Evolute IQ back in 2004. We sort of put pen to paper in 2007 and started drawing up the blueprints. And me along with my founding partners, we started building Evolute IQ back in 2009, 2010. And we started doing that with our own money. We started investing in the technology, and we eventually incorporated Evolute IQ back in 2019. And as a part of the founding team and the CEO, my core responsibility has been creating the vision for what we want to do, where we want to go, creating a team and building an organization that believes in the future of automation and what artificial intelligence is now doing to this world. Apart from that, I've along with my team, I've been involved in creating a very robust go-to-market strategy. We're very proud of the fact that since our inception, we have very clearly differentiated ourselves from not just building a very unique and a differentiated product which has got features at this point in time that very few people in our industry can showcase and demonstrate. So a very differentiated product, but we've also built a differentiated go-to-market strategy and also a very differentiated commercial and licensing model. So my role has been, building the organization, creating the culture, creating the go-to-market, structuring the vision, and then, partnering with my tech team and my tech partner to scale the organization. Prior to Evolute IQ, I've been in the tech industry now for more than 25, 27 years. And it's been a very fulfilling and exciting journey. I have seen the rise of the .com, the crash of the .coms, seen the 2007-8 crisis in the capital market space, also seen the rise of the zero interest rate and the free money flowing, and the innovations that are happening. So seen it all, lived across 6 continents in 12 cities. Prior to Evolute IQ, I've built a business involving customer experience and SaaS, and scale that business, and then obviously split it into 3 separate businesses. And then prior to that, I was part of the executive leadership team, which I was working for a public listed company out of NASDAQ, and we grew that business from 200 million to about $1 billion. And I used to run the global financial services for them as well as the European business. And then prior to that, I was part of the core team, that built out a company which was funded by Goldman Sachs, which we then eventually sold to Genpact in 2011. So it's been a great learning and a great career in terms of building and scaling companies across different continents, seeing the transformation from generic technology to advanced cloud and digital, and now the whole artificial intelligence sort of taking the center stage.
Great. I must definitely say that you have been having a fantastic journey till date, and I'm sure that in the years to come, working as CEO and co-founder of Evolute IQ, I think you'll be experiencing more such new developments in your career, and we'll be more glad to reconnect again and talk about it definitely in the near future. So I think you certainly mentioned it right that automation is on the uptick, and companies are searching for more ways to deliver consistent value that can help to increase customer satisfaction and retention as well. Now, probably the topmost topic everybody is talking about with the expansion of intelligent automation is generative AI. And like you mentioned in earlier of your responses that you guys are currently working on leveraging the capabilities of generating generative AI. But I think this is the current scenario that we're talking about, and I think in the near future or probably in the next year, we might witness across some another emerging trend with regards to intelligent automation. So, can you help us understand what are some of the emerging trends in the automation technology and its impact across industries?
So, I think, Priya, we are actually in the middle of some of the most amazing changes that are going to happen. I mean, they are very promising. They are very exciting. I have never been so excited in my entire tech career than I am today, because a lot of the things that, you imagined and thought about back in 1990s or the early 2000s, it is all coming to head at this point in time. I mean, we talk about intelligent automation, but I think the center stage is, the generative AI piece, and the whole composable AI, or the next generation AI, that is sort of growing within the space, right? And I think that is going to be the watershed moment for all of us. I think a lot of the industries are going to go through an existential crisis in terms of what they are doing or what they are supposed to do. I think it is not a trend. It is going to be the way we conduct business. It is going to be the way the future is defined. And let me explain what I sort of mean by that, right? See, we have a lot of organizations and system integrators and BPM companies, that support automation of processes, and they do so by using limited amount of technology, right? And that is probably because customers are invested very heavily with legacy systems that they have been using for many, many years. Also because generative AI or AI or even the intelligent automation piece is very new. I mean, a lot of people fear that it is a trend, or is this going to be here? Is there so much hype around it? But the reality is that all these companies that are servicing the end customers, they need to reinvent themselves. They need to look at technology first. They need to look at AI first, and apply that to the existing processes of their customers, and also educate the customers in the process of doing that. So to your question, it is a trend today. What is the new thing coming tomorrow? I think AI, generative AI, automation, intelligent automation, whatever you call it, it's here to stay. It is how the world will conduct business moving forward. And we are going to see a lot more use cases of this. We are going to see a lot more of this becoming mainstream, because this is getting easier and easier by the day, right? You look at the kind of commitments large players are making in the market. You look at what the CEO of NVIDIA is saying about making high availability hardware, to support these kind of LLMs and innovations that are getting driven in the Gen AI piece. So yeah, I think it is here to stay. And the biggest trend is taking this, applying it to existing processes, enabling the existing processes to get more automated, if I can use that word, but to learn on their own. Also, the other thing that is happening along with this is you are making it more simple. So the ability to automate this is not in the hands of a few people who understand technology, or who are great programmers, or who are great data scientists and things like that. But the software is and platform is becoming more and more simple for people like us, who are business, who can literally build complicated automated applications, leveraging Gen AI, leveraging some of the prompts and doing it. So sorry for the long monologue, but you asked me a question which I'm very passionate and excited about what's happening in the world.
No, not a problem at all, and we are happy to hear your response. And I think generative AI, there's just been an explosion in generative AI since last year. And in one of your earlier responses, you also mentioned about EvoluteIQ being a low-code, no-code platform. And yeah, definitely, because this new capability has opened a lot of whole host of opportunities and possibilities for expanding intelligent automation's capabilities and putting code automation development in the hands of business users or citizens, developers, basically the non-tech people within the business. So, and when when we are using intelligent automation across the different business verticals, so it kind of integrates with like connects data points to provide a single source of truth. So it can also be used to track buying patterns and deliver personalized communication to large audiences. So this somehow directly or indirectly impacts customer experiences and service. So when in today's digital world where we are navigating through digital trends, I think when we're talking with customers or dealing with customers, it's not just about a buying experience. I think it's about giving customers a seamlessly good experience across all different touch points. So, how do you think that automation can enhance customer experience?
So, one of the most amazing things about today is you don't know how your customer will interact with you, right? There are so many digital channels that the customer interacts with. I mean, we pick up our phone and we start using chat on our phone when we interact with a brand, or we may send an email, or sometimes we are interacting on voice, sometimes through email. And our expectation as a customer is that irrespective of which channel we interact with the brand needs to know us. They need to pick the conversation from where we left it before. Nobody has the patience to say the same things over and over again. People want, and loyalty of a customer is come down to how well do you know me. And a lot of brands put in a lot of effort in terms of analyzing data, in terms of outreach to the customer, in terms of understanding the dynamics of the customer, understanding the needs of the customer. And so automation sort of plays a very strong backbone to getting all of these different disparate technologies together, right? And I think that's the core of the customer experience today. You want the brand that you're interacting to be knowledgeable, be proactive, solve your problem, give you suggestions, manage your if you have different reports, let you see what you want to see. So if you take a simple example of a banking customer, right? I mean, we have apps on our phones. We want them to be secure, but at the same time we want them to be ease of use. We want touchless. We want the transactions to go through in a minute or faster, actually not a minute, but we want transactions to be done. We want reports. We want the bank to tell us if we are overspending, or if we are getting closer to our limit. We want our bank to reach out to us on all these different channels. Where it comes into play is a very simple thing, right? And let's take KYC for example. In a bank, when you open an account, you typically give the bank certain documents, and the bank extracts data from these documents. Then they basically want to know a little bit more about you, so they are analyzing your profile. There are different levels of approvals that the bank will go through internally, and there is a technology that is needed for the workflow and the approvals. Then typically the bank is also evaluating and analyzing the data that you've provided in terms of, here's Sameet, he's X years old, this is his annual income, he's applied for a loan. Is he eligible for that? What is the potential of him returning the loan? What bracket does he fall? And a lot of banks are also using a little bit of cognitive intelligence over here, where they are analyzing this data and saying, okay, here's Sameet, he's of a certain age group, this is his demographic, this is his geographic location. Maybe we should address this market segment and do an outbound campaign to attract more customers like Sameet, who can apply for loans, and we can. So now they are proactively doing an outreach and garnering more customers. And all of this they're doing while analyzing your data, providing dashboards and reporting to different parts of the bank, right? What I've just narrated is 5, 6, 7, 8 different technologies that need to come together to automate this whole process of KYC and outreach and analysis. All of this can be done in a single integrated automation platform. So that's how seamless it can be. That's how easy it can be, and that is the kind of response, or the kind of service that you can give your end customer. Does that answer your question, Priya?
Right. Yes, definitely. And I think when you're addressing customers' needs timely and delivering personalized experiences, I think that's when a seamless customer journey can happen. And that's where an automation plays a very important role, I feel. And then when you have happy customers, I think they're more likely to become your repeat customers, or also your brand advocates for that matter. So this ensures that you're meeting your customers' expectations. So, when you of course, explain us with certain examples, but can you also share some case studies about how the EvoluteIQ platform help your clients with successful business automation, and if you can share some success metrics as well?
Sure. I think one of my favorite case studies or customer experiences for us has been, a utility company that we work with in the United Kingdom. This utility company, they had run into some issues with a regulatory body, and they were asked to comply with certain regulations in 3 months, and this was regarding some claims processing. The regulatory body felt that they needed to return certain claims to the end customers, and they had to get this done within 90 days. If they wouldn't have complied with this in the 90 days, then there was a 10 million pound fine that was going to be imposed. But more than just the fine, this was obviously reputational for this particular customer, right? And so there were three choices in front of the customer. One, the obvious choice was, there was a contact center in which they had about 100 agents, and the option was to double or triple the number of agents and process the claims. And the claims were very massive. They were to the tune of about 400 million pounds that needed to be processed. And so they could increase this agent count and get people to do this manually, which would obviously require a lot of effort, a lot of money, and plus, not necessarily it could have been done in the stipulated time. The second option was, build a customized system and technology system which would process all these claims. But given that they were running against a timeline of 3 months, it was very, very difficult to do that. And so they opted to go with EvoluteIQ, where we built the entire claims management platform for them in the 90 days. We started the project early January. We went live end of March, and this particular company or the customer was able to process these claims as directed by the regulator. So we were able to deliver 400 million pounds worth of claims. We built it in 30 days. We saved the customer anywhere between 65 to 75% in terms of cost. So it was done at a rapid speed. It encompassed a pretty comprehensive platform deployment. And more importantly, the customer maintained their reputation and they were able to process these loans. So happy customers.
Great, quite impressive, I must say. And I think it highlights that the process or intelligent automation can add value to any business that probably needs to transform its operation digitally. And also, like you mentioned, with regards to your case studies, if they want to meet any regulatory compulsions and regulatory authorities. But building a seamless intelligent automation ecosystem definitely requires a joint effort, both from the IT team and also from the business functions. Now, when there's a proper collaboration, I think they can effectively assess the existing process and create a system that can bring the necessary changes or address the proper pain points for which intelligent automation is being adopted. But for this, I think one of the most important thing that businesses need to do is train their workforce in this transition journey. Because like when artificial intelligence came into picture with the advent of artificial intelligence, I think one of the bubbles was displacement of workers or displacement of jobs, and then people might lose their jobs. I think that also continued when automation came into picture, and now we have intelligent automation. Well, of course, we know that that's a typical myth, and this is nothing sort of that people will be removed from the jobs, but it's more like an enhancement to their jobs. But here, when we're talking about intelligent automation, how do you think that we can address the changing workforce development patterns, and how we can address their concerns in terms of workforce development?
So, the most important thing about a change, it's the standard change management, right? Where you need to take your workforce and your teams into confidence and share with them what you're trying to do. I think that is the most important thing, right? Whether it is generative AI, whether it is intelligent automation, or whether it is anything, right? I think communication becomes a very, very important aspect as to why do we need to do this. I think once all the employees, the workforce, the people understand what the objective is, I think then once the mission and the purpose is understood, the next step is to then share with them how they can contribute and get trained, and how they can make use of this particular technology to better what they are doing, right? I think it's a human thing that you always fear what you don't know. So once you understand the purpose, then once you understand what the technology is all about, how will it help you to do your job better? How will you learn something more? How will you become more skilled? I mean, understand people who today are trained on intelligent automation or platforms like EvoluteIQ are much more revered and are in demand in the marketplace because they now have knowledge of certain technologies and certain processes that some of the others don't, right? And I think that's a very important aspect that people need to understand. Of course, there will be some mundane tasks and some regular things which will get automated and should get automated. But that is what human beings are, right? We are built for learning, we are built for advancement. You don't want to be complacent doing. I mean, if we as a species were complacent, we would have still been, using bullock carts, and we would not be, going into space and doing space research, right? So I think for me, the communication is important, the purpose is important. The next thing that comes in is training and educating about the technology, getting the workforce to understand how it will enhance their day-to-day jobs, getting them excited about it, making them realize that understanding and learning a new technology like this and being a part of a program and a project like this is going to improve their employability as well as their skill level in the market. And then the third most important thing is collaboration, right? Getting the business and the tech teams together and making them realize that unless everybody comes together, you're not going to be able to deliver that common purpose that the organization had set for. And the reason I keep coming back to the common purpose is because, see, this is going to be the way of life. I said it before. This is not a project or a program. Automation is here to stay. It is going to be mainstream. It is going to be the core fabric of your enterprise. Unless you do it, you're not going to be able to compete and survive in your own industry. And it doesn't matter who you are, whether you're an airline, whether you're a bank, whether you're an insurance provider, all of us, all organizations have got to go through this. So it is very, very important for the workforce to realize that if they don't adopt this, if they don't change with the time, if they don't upskill themselves to ensure that their organization can compete in the marketplace, then they may not have an organization to work. So I think that's sort of the way I would approach it. That's what we even propagate with our customers, and we are very vocal about this because once you have your customers, employees, or your end customers on board with this, it's much easier to deploy and adopt. And once people adopt this technology, I think customers have done amazing for themselves.
True, I think I agree with you that, I mean, like any other technology, intelligent automation might have its own set of challenges as well. I think what really matters is how do you address those challenges, because there's no way that you cannot address these challenges. And of course, you clearly highlighted that upskilling and training the workforce is so important, because otherwise, the main critical agenda of surviving in this competitive environment, it won't be possible for organizations to survive and ensure that they're growing consistently and scaling their business. And your automation is definitely here to stay. So one last question would be like, what do you see or your views on the future of intelligent automation? How do you think that Evolute IQ would also evolve and adapt to these changes in the future?
I think we are moving towards this whole world of enterprise automation software, right? Which is AI enabled, as I said. And it's a very exciting time to be in this particular industry and in this particular market at this point in time, because what is happening is, as I said, there are 6, 7, 8 different technologies that are solving the problem of automating a full process. And each one of them do an amazing job of solving part of the problem, right? But very few of them actually look at it as an entire problem and try to solve it end to end. For us at EvoluteIQ, that's how we were born. We always looked at the problem rather than part of the problem. And I think the whole journey for everybody now is to be an integrated end-to-end stack where we are looking at the problem in its entirety and automating everything together. And I think that's sort of the future. The North Star is defined for everybody, whether you're a workflow provider, or whether you're a robotic process automation provider, or you are just doing artificial intelligence, or you're just doing a machine learning piece. I think end-to-end automation is the future, especially with the core Gen AI fabric built into it, low code, no code is a given. It's not even a differentiator anymore. So that's what I see is the future of intelligent automation, or as I would say, once we all reach that state, it's going to be AI enabled enterprise automation software. And at Evolute IQ, we are lucky, we are blessed that we took this punt much earlier than many of our competitors and our peers in the marketplace. We currently are proud to say that we have the full end-to-end stack built and deployed with Fortune 200 customers globally. And we are very excited that we believe we are a little bit ahead than most of the guys who are now starting this journey. So yeah, it's pretty interesting what we will see, and very excited that we are a little bit ahead of the curve and want to keep this going.
Yeah, definitely. I think 2024 and even the coming years promises to see more organizations shifting and adopting AI-enabled enterprise software and enhancing business efficiency. And when it comes to intelligent automation, I think it provides deep personalization to meet any industry challenge. And therefore, it is advisable that companies and organizations across the world should harness intelligent automation to automate complex business processes without making or deep into their pockets or hiring several roles at once. And especially in the post pandemic area right now, where businesses are still coping with their losses, there's a dire need to strengthen the system with intelligent end to end digital processes. Well, thank you so much, Sameet. It was a pleasure talking to you about intelligent automation and its impact on the business world and how organizations should shift to intelligent automation and what probably they should be doing in terms of workflows training or adopting an end-to-end comprehensive digital strategy. So that definitely makes a quite a lot of sense.
Thanks a lot, Priya, for having me, and I really enjoyed it. Really appreciate the opportunity to have this podcast.
Great. Thank you so much. Likewise, it was a pleasure talking to you and having you with us on a podcast. So this is for our listeners. Stay tuned for upcoming podcasts, and you can view and listen all our previous podcasts on Spotify and other leading platforms. Thank you.